Hi guys, I've been trying to record this video. The first time I recorded it, there was no audio and I didn't know that. I haven't shared it around trying to get it seen, and then I realized that there's no audio on the video after I had published it. So, but this is about something that I just found out that prompted me to make this video, is the Psalms of Ascent. I've always thought the Psalms of Ascent lined up with the years 2020 through 2034. It just made sense. And the more you look at it, the more sense it makes. And I'll show you that. So coronavirus started in the very end of 2019 and it hit in 2020. And that's when everybody started waking up. Like, what in the world is going on? It's like the end of the world, right? And that's when everybody started waking up. So I found out that the Psalms of Ascent, which are Psalm 120 through 134, are also called Pilgrim Psalms. And what they're about is a journey when you're going through suffering into finally ending up in Jerusalem with the Lord at our final destination with the Lord. I believe this has to do with Israel and the bride. And that's what the Psalms are about. And they're also called Pilgrim Psalms. So I think they're for us because who are we? We're pilgrims, right? And I want to show you some really cool stuff. So Psalm 120, let's read it. This would be about when Corona hit and we all were waking up on this long journey on our pilgrimage, and we're waking up to it. In my distress I cried to the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. Let me put myself in the corner here so you can see. So they were lying about coronavirus the whole time. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thy false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshech, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. We're for peace, but they're after us. They're trying to kill us. So that was starting in 2020. Okay. 6 years later, and the year that we are right now would be Psalm 126. And we're going to see how these all line up with the years. I'm just going to hit the big ones that I've seen and how they make sense that they line up with the years that we're in right now. And it's crazy. And it also lines up with the crucifixion date, which would be in 2033. So just hang in with me for a minute while I show you. Psalm 126 would line up with the year 126. With the Psalm 126, what did I just say? Would line up with the year 2026. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion. What is the captivity of Zion? It's the Lord turning back. Where's Zion and Israel? So he's turning his attention back to Israel, which is what happens in the tribulation, which lines up with this year when we think the tribulation will start. We were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue was singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Lord, as the streams in the south. So this is on this Pilgrim Psalm in the 2026, the sixth Psalm in the year 2026, it would, if it lines up with it, would be the Lord turning his attention or his captivity back to Israel, putting them back under his attention and in his putting them in captivity because they're got his full attention now in the year 2026, and Psalm 126 lines up with this year. The Lord is the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Is that talking about us? He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. We bear precious seed, which is the gospel, and we sow in tears because we're suffering with tribulation, but we will doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. And we are the bodies, so we would be the ones coming back with Jesus. He's the head, we're the body, and we're the child that is to be born. Okay, and this is Psalm 127, which would be talking about the year 2027 if this theory lines up. And I'm going to show you why I think that it lines up with these years in a minute in Psalm 130. But I'll keep going. This is the year 2027. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. How could that line up with 2027? Because the tribulation started and they built the temple, but they did it in vain because they did it not for the Lord, but for a false Messiah. They built a house, but they didn't do it with the Lord. And this would be aligning perfectly if the tribulation is next year. They built the third temple, but they didn't do it with the Lord. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. What would also happen in 2027? Us being the child would be born at the end of the birth pangs. He would have his reward, us being the fruit of the womb. This lines up with 2027 as well, if the tribulation is next year. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. He would be full of children because we would be with him in heaven. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Not only does he have a bunch of children, but we're speaking with the enemies in the gate of heaven. That sounds like we're in heaven, speaking with the enemies that are trying to get in the gate of heaven. This is crazy. It gets even crazier. Psalm 130. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. This is 2030. Now I'm going to back this up with what they're planning to do in 2030. They're planning to have the mark ready. By then, they're going to have full digital currency and full control, and the technology to rule the world basically is the Agenda 2030 of the elite. That's what they want to do, which should also line up with a midpoint tribulation in 2030, which lines up with the crucifixion being in 2033. So this is their plan, to have the mark ready by 2030, which also lines up with the midpoint of the tribulation. And why that is crazy is the next parts of this chapter. So let's restart. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If thou, Lord, should mark iniquities, what is the mark of the beast? It's marking iniquities. It's a mark. The word mark is in Psalm 130, which would line up with the year 2030, which would be the midpoint of the tribulation, and it's talking about marking iniquities. How crazy is that? It lines up. O Lord, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. At this point, they're hoping in the Lord because the Antichrist has revealed himself. That's when Israel flees, and they're hoping in the Lord now. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. That one's crazy. Now, Psalm 133 also lines up with the year 2033 in a crazy way. A psalm of degrees of David. Behold, how good and how pleasant is it for brethren to dwell together in unity. This would be when Jesus has come back and we're all dwelling together in unity. So that lines up. And I'm going to line it up with the date Israel was born with this next one. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments. How old was Aaron when he was anointed and oil ran down his beard? He was 83 or 84 years old. How old will Israel be in the year 2033? Psalm 133. 84. So when Aaron is 84 years old and when Israel is 84 years old, the psalm talks about Aaron being anointed when he was 84 years old. That's just like so many different coincidences right there that it's insane. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. And finally, we end in Psalm 134, which would be when the third temple is here and when we're all together and in Zion, in New Jerusalem. Behold, bless ye the Lord, all ye servants of the Lord, which by night stand in the house of the Lord. We would be doing that. Lift up your hands in the sanctuary. We'd be in the sanctuary and bless the Lord that made heaven and earth. Bless thee out of Zion. The Lord would be blessing us out of Zion. And when can he do that? When he's in Zion, which would be after the second coming in the year 2034. And I wanted to share that stuff with you guys. Just the fact that it's called the Pilgrim Psalms, which I didn't know until tonight, blew my mind. And I just wanted to share with you that it's just so crazy to me how good this is looking. And I hope this is encouraging to you. And this theory, I'm hoping it rings true. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully the audio worked this time. Peace.